Food items are some of the most powerful items in Enshrouded. To be able to acquire them at a decent rate, you are going to want to be able to farm food. There are other things that we can farm as well. This guide is going to cover all of them. As you might imagine, before starting this, you will need to have unlocked the farmer, and you will need to be able to get yourself some farm soil. I'm going to show you where you can get some of this straight away. And you will need to have built a seed bed, which also needs farm soil, but you're also going to get that straight away in this video as well. If you don't have any farm soil, then I'm going to give you a shortcut so you don't have to make any. Come to the ancient spire springlands right here and just go ahead and fly off to the west. Now this just so happens to be where I have settled, but I'm going to show you guys a bit of a trick once we get down here. Once you arrive, you're going to notice that we have all of this rough looking soil, and this is, as you can see, farm soil. If you are not settled here, this will of course regenerate on its own. If you are settled here like me, you may need a different method to get more of it. So let's go ahead and cover that. With your farm soil in your inventory, come to a flat spot within your borders. You're going to want to come into your build menu and select something that is going to allow you to terraform. Doesn't really matter which one, just go ahead and place down some farm soil. Any amount will do, and then grab yourself a rake, and all we need to do now is spread it around. Once you've got enough all spread around, you can just go ahead, dig it back up, and that is effectively going to multiply your farm soil as much as you'd like. The next material you are likely to need is water, and it just so happens this very spot that we are at right now has its very own well. Again, if you are not going to settle here, there is in fact a well right at the very beginning of the game in Longkeep, so you guys can use that one if you wish to, but that is no longer my home base. This is where I live now. Additionally, once you get far enough into the game, you are able to build your own wells, but you will need to have access to linen for this, and so we need to make sure we are farming flax to make that a thing. Also bear in mind, you will need to have progressed the carpenter until you get his masonry tools, so just bear that in mind when it comes to wanting to set up your base anywhere else. With those two materials, you are now just some metal scraps and wood logs away from being able to create your own seeds. This isn't a farming video for everything, but I have gotten you all what you are most likely to be missing. Once that's done, go ahead and build the seed bed. You can have as many of these as you want. These work a lot like everything else. Go ahead and browse the recipes to see if there's anything that you want to create. Obviously, in my case, we are going to be farming flax seedlings for now. As you can see, we need 2 water for each flax that we expect to get some extra seeds out of. In this case, maybe I want to get myself a bunch of seeds. I'm going to stick some water in there so that can begin processing, and now we are creating flax seeds. Now, I'm not saying I did any practicing or anything, but I just so happen to have some flax seeds available already. All we need to do now is place our seeds that we want to grow in some form of farmland. Of course, you guys can go ahead and make this as efficient or inefficient as you need to. The seeds planted, all we need to do now is wait for them to grow. This is where it's relevant for me to talk about the existence of different soil types. I don't know if this is a bug or needs to be patched. All of the different plants that you can farm can all grow in the standard soil that we already have. If you want to improve your farming speed, you can go ahead and do that with the advanced fertilized soils, but that really doesn't change any of the mechanics that we are using here to grow our crops.